Estate Radio Network's own Don Goettling, Gino Fronti, and we want to thank you for being part of our show every Thursday at 1 p.m. because we do this for you. We do it for ourselves, too, because we really like doing this. We love this, and especially when we have great guests like we have today. I mean, we're talking Gene Bleecker with Cal County's title. Boom, how about that?
See what happens when you write it
the
down?
The master networker. That's why we have him on the show today. He's helping you figure out how to just better yourself, better your business, that's for sure. And he was sharing with us why you should network, the value of networking, and community in Santa Clarita. And we also want him to share with you what he sees. He works with more real estate agents by far than anyone out here. And again, I'm going to repeat, if you're a real estate agent not working with Gene, oops. A big oops, because
but there could be the option that I might not want to work with them.
That is true.
That's right. Because you only work with people you like, right?
Yeah, and you know what? There are some real
professionals.
estate agents that we're not on the same planet. We don't have the same philosophies. We don't have the same vision. We don't have the same mindset. And, you know, there are some people out there that are very hard to work with.
No,
come
on.
So, you know, being in the business for so many years, I get the luxury of picking out which clients I want to work with and which clients that I don't want to work with. And I do work with a lot of incredible, wonderful, warm-hearted, very professional real estate agents. I mean, there's always a handful of people that I would love to get, but you know what? That's why God created tomorrow.
Beautiful.
Oh, that's good.
You know, Gene, we get the opportunity every week to deal with professionals in this area as well, and we get to interview real estate agents on a weekly basis, and, you know, we really enjoy the opportunity to spend time with them and to see what makes them different, what makes each one of them shine, what makes each one of them successful, and how they like to help their clients. But when you work with such a large group like you do, you must see some common traits or some common denominators that make certain agents more successful than others in helping their clients.
You know, that's a really great question, and thank goodness I do have a good answer for this.
Time's up.
Right. I wrote a book a few years ago called The Golden Rules of Real Estate Success.
Oh.
So I took a few years and I interviewed real estate agents about their thoughts on real estate, what separated one real estate agent from another, you know, things that they stood for, things that they didn't stand for. In talking to some of the very best agents in our valley, there were two common denominators on what made them tick and why they were in the top 1%. And the answer was they were very diligent in their work ethics, and they were very consistent in their prospecting and follow-up. So, you know, when people say, gosh, I got into real estate, what's the golden rule? What's the secret? There isn't really a secret. It's be consistent and be diligent. I mean, if that is a secret, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's the thing that the top agents in our city all had in common when I sat down and I interviewed them.
So not just the attributes, because you're going to hear, we interview them, and they all love, they claim to love their job. A lot of them do. A lot of them claim to love helping people, love being in the industry, and so forth. But that isn't always enough to become successful and successfully helping you.
To me, that's blah, blah, blah.
Thank you.
Because
Thank you.
When you go look at somebody's flyers or their website, dedicated to service, dedicated,
Blah.
you know, to this, they're...
Blah.
I mean, they could take 10 flyers from 10 different
Yep.
real estate agents, and it will all say the same thing. I mean, I think a real estate agent really has to have a unique point of view or points of difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I was a real estate agent in this marketplace, I would figure out what am I really good at, and I'm going to do it exceptionally well.
You know, it's funny you say that, Gene, because I'm coaching along a family member of mine who's opening a new business. She's been an employee for many, many years, and she's entering the real estate world again, and she's opening it up on her own, and she says, so what do I do next? And I said, well, what makes you special? What's your unique selling proposition? She goes, well, I don't know. I said, well, come up with one, because otherwise you don't stand a chance.
And we know what makes you special, Gino.
Yeah, I do hang around with you.
And if you just